It's time to tax the rich. And this might not be a conversation you expected from me, but it's time we tax the rich. If we genuinely want to help first-time buyers get on the property ladder, then we have to tax the rich. Hear me out. When people usually say tax the rich, we've got to establish or start the conversation by who and what do we determine as rich? What, a grandmother that saved all her life and had some money? Someone that won the lotto? Who is the rich that we are supposed to hate? Or are we talking about the Elon Musks? Are we talking about Jeff Bezos? Who are we talking about? My proposal is this. So if we say let's introduce a tax on anyone that has a property that's worth over £1 million. If someone has a property that's worth over £1 million, this is the people we want to tax. And the reason I've chosen £1 million is because there aren't that many. More importantly, it's actually a level of privilege. You were fortunate enough, you did the first part of buying a property, but just by the sheer opportunity of being able to buy a property at the right time, you've benefited from the growth and the capital in that property. This is why I say let's start with property values over £1 million. For goodness sake, some of you were just born at the right time. Thank your parents, you were just born. You didn't do anything and you benefited from buying a property at the right time. Time to pay up. But that's also not to take anything away from you, because there were many people who also didn't take the opportunity to buy at the right time. So if we propose a tax of 0.0005%, a nominal figure on every single person that has a property that's worth over £1 million every year, well, the numbers are crazy. We can genuinely make magic. We can genuinely help people get on the property ladder. Let's follow the numbers. So a 0.0005% tax on properties over £1 million means that the owners will pay a small £500. Now, I don't say 500 to make it feel like it's nothing, but it's such a nominal figure that it's hard to have the resistance, but also doesn't feel so much like a tax on someone that has a property over £1 million. Let's do the numbers. So that number is just £500 every single year. It's an amount that anyone that wants to help the next generation own a property, because we understand the value of home ownership. The people that we're asking to pay this tax, they clearly understand the value of home ownership because they are the beneficiaries of someone that bought a home and the value has increased to over £1 million. But it's such a nominal amount that if a rich person buys into this vision and this plan, it's easy, maybe easier for them to come on board. It's not a tax that feels as if they're being accused, being attacked, or being penalized for owning a property or for having money. So I say we go at £500, and this is where the magic starts to happen. There are 556,000 properties worth over £1 million in the UK, and more joining every single year. You can see where I'm going with this. A £500 tax, let's call it a TTR, Tax the Rich Fund. So a £500 TTR, times that by the 556,000 homes valued over £1 million, it's an annual revenue of 281 million every single year. In the right hands, that changes lives. It changes lives. 281 million. Now that only scratches the surface. There are thousands and tens of thousands of people that can't get on a property ladder. But we've got to start from somewhere because they just can't save that deposit. And some people will argue and say, quite naively, oh, if you can't save, then you can't buy a property, or you don't deserve to buy a property. Many people can't save because of the astronomical rent that they're paying. Yes, financial discipline is a thing, but if 50 or 60% of your salary is going towards accommodation and inflation is high and the cost of everything goes up, then where on earth or how on earth are you supposed to save any money? This is why the TTR fund has to come into place. The truth is this, in this current climate, the vast majority of people, with house prices being exceptionally high, the vast majority of people will need some form of assistance. And here is the assistance. Here it is. So let's go back. 281 million. If the average property in the UK right now is £280,000 and the average deposit to buy that £280,000 property is £28,000, how many £28,000 deposits can we extract from 280 million every year? Or can we gift every single year 10,000. That's 10,000 people. 10,000 people that we can help every single year to get on a property ladder by gifting them a £28,000 deposit derived from a simple tax of £500 on the rich. 10,000 people per year is incredible, but 10,000 people per year off the back of a £500 tax is amazing. Can we have this conversation without being cancelled? If the government genuinely genuinely wanted to help people get on the property ladder, they would, but they don't. If they wanted to introduce a tax such as this, they would, but they're not going to. There might be some resistance naturally, but the way I've worked this numbers is to make sure that this tax doesn't feel like such a blow. Putting myself in a situation, I would be more than happy to pay an additional £500 in addition to the obscene amount of tax we have to pay if I know that that money is specifically going towards a fund to help first-time buyers get on the property ladder. I am a beneficiary of the value of properties increasing. I understand the value and the wealth that can be generated from the value of properties increasing. I have no problem contributing £500 per year if the government specifically makes sure that money is allocated in this form. Now, this is where the contention really happens. If we're able to generate 281 million every single year, that money will disappear. We know it, based on the government's track record, based on the misappropriation of funds, based on their lack of care to help first-time buyers and the working class acquire properties and create wealth, that money will disappear. It will end up in the government's pocket somewhere. It will end up in a politician's friend's pocket. But genuinely, if that money is specifically allocated towards helping first-time buyers or deserving members of society acquire or buy a property, then it's a game changer. Everyone benefits. If it's done, we are well on our way to enabling people to buy a home, secure their future, protect their future, give shelter to their family, prepare for retirement through simple property ownership. Now, there are different variations in which we can look at this. Rather than giving £28,000 to each individual and just helping 10,000 people a year, we could consider giving maybe £14,000 and helping 20,000 people. There are so many different ways this can be played, from a simple £500 taxation on anyone that has a property over £1 million. Hey guys, if you get any value from this video, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section. If you agree or disagree, let's have that conversation below. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Should we tax the rich?